So you're tired of grinding your life away in a 9-to-5 job and you want to break free. But you feel that all the business ideas out there require a lot more than your current skill set. Well, that is not true. You can build a business this year with only what you know from your job or your side hustle, if you know the right way to do it. In this video, I will show you everything I have learned to build 2 7-figure businesses from my home while taking care of my children. And I'm going to show you all the stepping stones you need to do the same. Let me reassure you, you do not need to learn a high-income skill to create a successful business. Just pay close attention to the 7 simple steps I will share with you today. Some are so easy you won't even believe it. Let's begin. The first step to building your dream business is to stop thinking that you cannot make money with what you do. I hear so many people saying, the thing is that with what I do, I can't really make a lot of money. Well, if you feel this way, listen up. Let's say you're a nail artist. So you work at somebody else's beauty salon, but you're not making a lot of money. So the next logical step would be to head out on your own. Now, I know this might feel like too much, and you're probably right now thinking about the statistic. You know how 20% of businesses fail within 2 years, and most of them don't make it on the long run. So what's the point if succeeding is so hard? Why would I try? Well, it doesn't have to be, It doesn't matter if in the beginning you have the best structure. If you don't have it, for example, you can meet clients at home, or if you don't have it all figured out yet. What matters is how you frame your services. To get more money, you need to offer a premium experience. For example, you could make some high detailed designs your competition doesn't make, or you can create a subscription for X amount of designs per month. Get your client bonuses when they refer you to other people. The possibilities are endless as long as you position yourself as someone with a premium service instead of just another nail artist. Now, if you offer something that is perceived as valuable, you can make money with whatever you do. You don't believe me? Then how about you make a Google search and find someone making money doing what you already do? Chances are you will find that person. And when you find that person, I want you to breathe in and say, if someone else can do it, I can do it too. Because that is the truth. There are people out there making 10K a month teaching courses on fake lashes. There are people out there making 8K a month teaching yoga from their living rooms. There are women making 15K a month teaching how to declutter and organize your home. By the way, these are all examples from women I coach in my mentorship groups in Ladies Park. That's why I know. They're all making quite a lot of money each month, doing things that many others would think, it's impossible to make good money doing any of these things. If you deliver value, you can make money with whatever you do. First step, be careful with what you believe. Stop thinking that you can't make money with what you do, because those deeply embedded beliefs come alive. If you want to be successful, you have to change the "it's too difficult to make money doing this" thinking to "how can I make more money with this" thinking. So you trade negativity for curiosity and things change fast. Now let me put an end to one of the most common myths out there. Do you ever feel that to make good money you need to be a world-class expert with 10+ years of experience and a PhD from Harvard? Or maybe you feel that you need to have 1,000 testimonials before you can even think of building a business? Well, you don't need any of that. Any of that. No, the reality is you only need to be a few steps ahead of your ideal client to sell a product or services. Listen, I remember this one time when I was just learning how to make passive income. And so I went to this seminar because I wanted to learn, and there were a lot of speakers there presenting. And the event began with the passive income king, who would teach us how to build our empires. He was a world-renowned expert with hundreds of thousands of students around the globe, and he was making, $10 million of revenue per month. This was a huge learning opportunity for me. But there I was, sitting in the back of the room, completely intimidated, because at the time, I could not even make ends meet. I was not even making a decent active income, let alone passive income. But hey, there I was, ready to learn. So this guy goes on stage, and the moment he starts talking about calculations and huge numbers, I feel my brain disconnect. And I mentally travel to another galaxy. I felt so far away from what he was teaching that I shut off. he wasn't bad, he was passive income king after all, but it was not what I needed. So I tiptoed myself out of the room and I went to look for something else. On a parallel stage in a much smaller room, there was a guy giving a talk that was called, I Can Teach You How to Make Your First 5K in Passive Income. He was no guru, no billionaire, no private jets. He had almost no experience teaching others. The only thing he talked about was how he made passive income work for him just 1 year before. So both of these guys were offering online training. Guess who I bought the course from? The second guy. Because I could relate so much more to his situation, When I teach my programs, I see that the most successful students, the ones that are easily making 10K in passive income per month, are not necessarily the gurus, but rather people who boil down whatever they learned recently into an easy-to-follow path for others. That's the beginner's advantage. Let's say you just completed your first marathon and you now have the knowledge to share with someone who is just starting out as a runner. They will probably relate more with you than with an ultra-marathoner that has completed 1 million races in the desert, When you're an expert, sometimes your view on your topic is so in-depth that your course can be hard to understand for a beginner. But if on the other hand, you're just 2 steps ahead of your customer, you will make an easier to understand course with only the vital information to reach one goal. And trust me, making such a course is not as challenging as it sounds. It's actually a lot easier than you think. One of the women in my programs is making very good money per month selling an online course about plant-based meal prep for busy professionals. Is she a nutritionist? No. Is she a professional chef? Also no. Did she watch all the seasons of Hell's Kitchen? I actually don't know. I should ask her that. The point is, she's just a woman who regularly receives comments from friends and family saying, hey, your dishes are so delicious. I can't believe they're vegetarian. And just like that, without being an expert, with no previous experience, without a huge Instagram following, she made 23K in her first launch. Of course, there are exceptions, and I know you're smart enough, and I don't need to tell you, if you want to be a doctor, you actually do have to go and get a degree in university, Yeah, you get the point, right? You can build a business around anything that provides value for others, and you do not need a Harvard degree to get started. The next skill that will make you successful is one of the most impactful yet underused ones. Give more to earn more. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have an online business, and chances are, if you do, you know what a lead magnet is. Basically, the free stuff you give out in exchange for an email, right? Well, or the freebie you make to get people get a taste of your product before they buy from you. Even if you don't work online, I bet you offer some version of this. Maybe you're a hairdresser and you want to offer a free wash with a cut. The problem is that most people give their least value offer because, it's free stuff. So why would I give out something very valuable for free? Well, wrong move. Wrong move. Why? Because people will judge you and what you offer by your first interaction. So if you give them a crappy freebie, even if your real product or service is awesome, guess what they will think? Well, this person is not worth a penny. And just like that, you lost a client. I've been in this game long enough to know that people making the most money are not the ones with a super special skill. They are the ones delivering amazing value, including the free stuff they give out. But why? Well, it's a matter of psychology. If you deliver something amazing to your client for free, in their mind they're like, hey, if I got so much for free, I can only imagine how much I will get when I pay. This is why free masterclasses and webinars are so popular and effective when done correctly. I remember when I built my first webinar with Mindvalley. We worked on that thing for months. I do mean months of work into a piece that would go out into the internet absolutely for free. Sometimes people ask me, Florencia, why do you upload your complete stage talks for free on the internet? Are you giving away so much value? And I know, and I do it for 2 reasons. First, I genuinely want to help as many people as possible. Second, I see this as a key aspect of my business. I know that people who see me giving something away for free that is great will trust me when I say, hey, and here's a product that costs X amount of dollars. So make sure you give out a freebie you feel proud of, that you would pay for, and that you know will provide value. Give more if you want to earn more. Now, giving great stuff for free will make you more money in the long run. But the skill that will double your sales in the shortest amount of time is knowing your clients. The problem is, many times we feel we know our clients, but we don't. We think, yes, of course I know my clients. They are women between 35 and 50 with X amount of income. Well, that's just the basic facts. And no, it's not what knowing your client looks like. Knowing your client is understanding their pains and their needs so well that you can talk in their language. Think about what keeps them up at night. What do they fight with their spouses over? What do they like doing in their free time? What do they feel ashamed of? What are their biggest dreams? What are their true needs? Become obsessed with understanding your potential client, and you will see how your message becomes stronger. But how do you do this? Well, there's something I like to do every time I write a new book. When I'm writing a new chapter about, for example, something like how to speak better in public, I think about someone I know who would benefit from that knowledge. And I put a name to that person, and I think about Maria and how she shared her fears about speaking in public with me. So when I write, instead of just writing in general about how to speak in public, I think about Maria and her situation and the best way to help her. The same goes for my talks. I always speak with someone from the audience in mind when I'm explaining a certain topic. And the crazy thing is, you have no idea how many times someone came and told me, I felt like you were talking exactly to me. Yes, that is the effect. That's the power of knowing your customer. It helps you speak about their needs in their language. And when you speak their language, they feel understood. They feel that you can genuinely help them because you know what they're going through. And that's where the magic happens, when you stop chasing clients and you start attracting them with no effort. So before you go out there trying to sell stuff like a used cars salesperson, make sure that the product or service you're offering is something that your potential clients desperately need or want. Something that is a real solution to a problem that they are facing. And to be able to offer that, you need to know them as if they were your close friends. Once you get that right, selling becomes automatic. Now that you know who you're talking to, it's time to delight them. Developing this skill is such a game changer. How do you delight? Well, if knowing your customer means understanding what they want from you, delighting your customer means giving them what they don't expect from you. A while ago, I was doing a speaking tour in the Middle East, and I was flying from Dubai to Bahrain, but my flight got delayed, and I spent the entire night sitting in a cold airport. My talk was the following night. I was hungry, I was exhausted, and to my horror, my voice was gone. When your job is to speak, losing your voice is no joke. So I arrive at the hotel at 6 a.m., but breakfast was only at 7. I decide to go to my room. As I'm walking there, I pause and I look at the breakfast area. A woman comes over and she says, "Can I help you?" "Yes," I say, with a thread of voice. "I want breakfast, but you're closed." And she goes, come, sit." So I sit there and I ask her for a coffee. She smiles, walks away, and it takes her 12 minutes to bring me a cup of coffee. By now, I'm in a very bad mood, but I notice that she's bringing the coffee, and she also has this big teapot on the tray. And she tells me, "I noticed that your voice is hurting, so I brought you some magic tea. I prepared this especially for you." Yeah, right, I think. But I'm also desperate to get my voice back, so I drink. As I'm walking out of the breakfast room, she says, "Hey, bring some more tea for the room, so keep on drinking because I know you have a conference tonight." I take the tea with me, I keep on drinking, and believe it or not, my voice starts to return. That night, as I'm walking into the conference room, I see that everything is set up for me, the stage, the lighting, and suddenly I see a big teapot. And I go, "Oh, she brought the teapot without me even asking." I was delighted. And I'm sure you heard many times how an angry client will tell 10 people about it, and a satisfied client will not tell anyone about their experience. Now, here's what a delighted customer will do. After I left the hotel, I immediately posted her story on social media, and I have quite a large social media following. I am writing her story for one of my future books, which is being published in a few months, and my books have been read by over 1 million people, and I'm telling you about her in this video. So, When you delight a customer, you not only establish a personal connection with them, but you generate influence and you get free promotion in the most genuine way. That's why it is so powerful. So the next time you're dealing with a client, ask yourself, how can I go the extra mile? How can I make their experience with me so good that they will want to share it with the world? It's such a small thing, but I guarantee you it makes a huge difference. Now, lots of people have heard about this next skill, but only few know how to put it into practice. What you need to increase your chances of success is networking. But no, not in the way you think. No. You might be making the same mistake that I made at the beginning. Maybe you're trying to become online friends with influential people, or you're trying to, attend events from your industry and you try to hit up a conversation with the VIP people, but for some reason you come off as the needy, clingy kid at school instead of the popular one. Well, chasing influential people to catch their attention and help can be both exhausting and frustrating. I've done it, so I know. And the big mistake is that we're trying to get something from people instead of giving first. The best advice I ever got about networking like a pro was this: the best thing you can do is to become so interesting and to give so much value to your community that influential people will want to hang out with you. And maybe you feel, well, how am I supposed to be interesting for people who are a lot more accomplished than me? Okay, let's say you want to become a great real estate agent, but you don't know much about the industry. You're just a photographer who is just making the transition into the real estate world. So how do you get one of the big ones to teach you all the tricks? You know what you do? You offer something you have that could be of value to them. In this case, your photography skills. So maybe you can offer to make photos and reels for the properties they want to sell in exchange for knowledge. And this is how you go from the needy, clingy, can you help me please, I'm clueless, I'm just starting out, I'm so small, to, hey, can I make a few reels for the properties you're selling? I think you would get a lot more traction in your social media. Just focus on them and what you can do to help them, and the relationship will flow. Believe me, when you give first, you become that cool kid at school giving out gum and getting friends in return. So the next time you want to get attention of influential people, remember, it's not about chasing people. It's about attracting them to you. Hey, and before we move to the final lesson, if you found any of these lessons useful, please give me a thumbs up. This way you will help me impact more people with the tools that they need to succeed. And if you want to make your road to your first million easier, you can subscribe to this channel to get the best lessons and tactics I use to build 2 successful 7-figure businesses from my home. Hey, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Here's the final lesson. Get the right vehicle. And no, I don't mean go get a Tesla. No, if you want to grow and become successful, define your point A and your point B and get the right vehicle to take you from your starting point to your destination. Point A is where you are today. Let's say you want to quit your 9-to-5 job, you're tired, and you're far, far away from making the money you want. And point B is your ideal future. You quit your 9-to-5, you build your own thing, you're making good money every single month. Now ask yourself these 3 questions. What new skills do I have to learn to go from point A to point B? How can I get those skills? And who can I learn them from? And remember, these don't need to be high income skills. Remember the point of the video? Going from point A to point B for you might just be like learning how to make more detailed nail designs or take better photos or learn new recipes. Asking myself, how can I get from point A to point B is a simple practice I do every 6 months. So ask myself the 3 powerful questions. What new skills do I need? How can I get the skills? Who can I learn them from? It's a self-coaching I love to do, and I recommend that you do too. As long as you keep learning, you will keep growing. Hey, one more thing. If right now you're feeling overwhelmed, this could be the reason. Your imposter self might be getting in the way, and it's trying to convince you that you can't do it. And you know what? It can be quite convincing. And I know because I had to kill my own imposter self in order to be able to turn my life around. And that's why I made this next video for you. Go check it out.